We're discussing the centering system for the Mr. Valve cutter. Whenever you cut with the cutter, you've got to have a centering system. So for the valves, typically we're going to be using the cone. It's a 80+ pound steel centering cone that the shaft of the cutter goes down through. It can rock a little bit in the casting so that we can get the proper alignment. You're going to put that in. The key will be removed from the shaft of the cutter so that it slides right down through that round hole. And then we're going to make our cut with the underslung teeth. For those of you who are seeing the Christie type casting openings in your city, you're going to want to use one of two options. You can either use the cone and a reducer ring, and all that's going to work just like you've been using, other than you have that reducer ring which allows the cone to fit in there properly. Or you can use our Christie speed plate, which works similar to the Mr. Manhole speed plate in a manhole. It locks in place. You're going to have the key in the shaft now, and you're going to go down through the key-shaped hole. You're going to make your cut around the casting, and then you're going to pull the road overcut and the Christie apparatus out of the road. I recommend that you use the Christie speed plate. It's a big labor saver. You're not going to have to use the breaker or the blaster. You can just cut and pull. We're showing the Mr. Valve blaster. It's hanging on a mini excavator which is powering the hydraulics of the unit. The unit is used after we use the cutter with the underslung teeth to cut a 28-inch groove or whatever diameter you have it set on around the valve box. Because we can't pull these valve boxes, we've chosen to just break them off of the piece that goes on down and covers the valve. You know, these screw on over a smaller diameter box. The valve blaster is made so that it will not go into that smaller diameter down tube that goes over the valve. It'll only go into the top part. So we hang it on the mini, we drop it down in, and then we activate it. It actually breaks the valve box casting, and it breaks the road overcut around the casting. Before you put the valve blaster in and break this, you want to go ahead and put a rubber ball with a string on it, available at any toy store. Put that down inside there and shove it down into the secondary smaller piece so that none of those pieces fall down in around the valve. Now we will lower the Mr. Valve blaster unit down into that casting for breakage. This unit can be used on a mini excavator like you see it demonstrated here, or it can be used on a skid steer. Anything that will provide the hydraulic power to activate it, you can hang it on. Put it on any tool you want as long as it has a hydraulic feed. When you've cut these and removed these from the road, cleaned everything out, you can pour the concrete back in with a small piece of 3/8 rebar. You can just bend that yourself and pour this back in and dye the top black, just like you see on the Mr. Manhole repairs in the rest of this video.